It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. You'll just come out and be like, man, it's a beautiful day.
What up, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. I'm Anthony TV. Look, do me a favor, guys. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for me, man. Like this video and drop a comment if you got a comment. You already know I appreciate your support. Shout out to all the new subscribers out there, man. Welcome to the channel. I appreciate you guys for rocking with me and the rest of the ATV gang. Always, I appreciate your continued support, man. You guys see the title of today's video. We're going to be talking about it today because I get asked this question pretty frequently on my channel, and that is, can I get a trucking job if I have a restriction on my license? All right, that goes for food service or any other trucking job that you choose to go to. That's the question of the day. We're going to get into it, but before we do that, I got to get me some breakfast, man. So I think I'm going to go over here to Panera Bread. I'm going to take y'all with me. So I'll check back in with you guys in a little bit, man. Y'all keep it locked.
All right, guys, now that we had that breakfast, y'all already know, man, I didn't want to eat in front of y'all. But we back, man. So look, get in the car, let's talk about it.
So let's go ahead and talk about this question real quick. Can I get a food service trucking job if I have an automatic restriction on my license? Or can I get a trucking job in general with an automatic restriction on my license? The short answer to that question is yes. You still can get into food service if you have an automatic restriction on your license. And yes, you still can get a trucking job in general if you have an automatic restriction on your license. But you already know there's always a but in there. But it may be a little bit more difficult for you if you have an automatic restriction on your license and you're trying to get into food service in particular. And the reason for that is that most companies have a mixed fleet, right? And what I mean by that is most companies have automatics and manuals in their fleet, right? So if you have an automatic restriction, let's just say they have a route that need to be ran, and the only thing they have on the yard at that time is manual transmissions, and you have an automatic restriction. Well, guess what? You can't run that route because you can't operate that vehicle with a manual transmission. I will say that it may be a little bit more difficult for you to get into food service, and that's really depending on what company you're applying for, because I think a lot of companies are a little bit more lenient than others when it comes to hiring drivers with automatic restrictions. That's definitely going to play a factor in whether or not you can get a job with that automatic restriction on your license. But it is definitely possible for you to still get a job with an automatic restriction on your license. Now, when it goes to trucking in general, same thing applies. It's probably going to vary from company to company. A lot of companies nowadays are actually transitioning from manuals to automatics. So that's definitely going to increase your chances to getting a trucking job in the grand scheme of things. But again, you are sort of limiting yourself when it comes to the options you have available to you when you have that automatic restriction on your license. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's not necessarily a deal breaker if you have that automatic restriction on your license. Something else I want to talk about as it relates to Gordon Food Service. A few months ago, I had the pleasure and the opportunity of speaking with one of our regional managers, Kara Gordon Warren. Shout out to Kara if you're watching this video. But we actually talked about this during that interview, right? We talked about the fleet here at Gordon Food Service, automatic transmission and manual transmission. We actually had a conversation about this, and I'm gonna share a clip with you guys just in case you didn't get a chance to watch that video. And I encourage you guys to go check that interview out on my channel. We basically covered a lot of questions that you guys have asked me. I pretty much presented it to her, and we had a great conversation covering a lot of different topics. So I really encourage you guys, if you haven't seen that interview, go check that out. But I'm gonna share a clip with you guys real quick so you can hear what Kara stated as it relates to manuals and automatic transmission, and why Gordon Food Service, when it comes to the fleet, they're really focusing more on the automatic transmissions and getting more of those. And she's gonna tell you the reason why. Check out this clip real quick. So are the tractors automatic or are they manual transmission? Can you kind of touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Those are a couple of great questions. So the first question that you asked was around, are the tractors assigned? So in most cases, yes. And again, it tends to be based on that seniority that we assign tractors. We do have instances where we may have, especially for some of our newer employees, where they might, if they're covering different routes or going to different geographies, they may find themselves using different equipment. But over time, we really try to create that, that stability, that consistency. And so that does take place. The other question you had around automatic versus manual, our fleet right now is really a blend of both. We have both manual and automatic, and starting in 2020, as we're placing orders for new equipment, we've been placing orders for automatic. We're just finding that that it gives us more access to a wider talent pool that's out there. People that they may be interested in the idea of driving. They might not know how to drive a manual truck or tractor, and so we think it's just important to make sure that that the job is attractive to as many people out there, so that we have the ability to really bring on the best of the best for our team.
All right, guys, so you just heard Kara state in that video clip that Gordon Food Service has a mixed fleet. We have both manual transmission tractors and autos, right? And that's definitely the case at my location. We have both. However, we do have more autos than manuals at my location. And she also stated that when they're placing their orders for replacement vehicles, they're going more towards the automatic transmission tractors, for the simple fact that they're able to attract more potential employees that way. Because we all know that a lot of people have difficulty driving a manual transmission. So if they don't have to worry about that per se, they're more likely to apply for a company where they don't have to worry about driving that manual, and the company has more autos than manuals in their fleet, right? So I think it's a great idea. I think it's great for not only the company to get more people in the door, but it's also great for that person who may have an automatic restriction on their license, and now they can apply for this company and have the confidence that they have a good chance of getting that job, and their restriction on their license is not going to hold them back from that opportunity. So I think it's great for both parties, in my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And there was actually somebody who asked the question under that particular video, can I have a restriction on my license? And somebody replied to that comment and said, we have 2 people at my DC who have restrictions on their license, and they're also helping people get restrictions lifted off of their license. So I think that person works at GFS, but I could be wrong. But he did say that at his DC, they have 2 people with restrictions on their license. So I think if somebody has an automatic restriction and they're looking to get into Gordon Food Service, I think they really have a good chance on still coming on board with GFS. I don't think that will necessarily kill your chances to getting on with GFS in particular. I can't speak for some of the other companies out there, but again, give it a try. regardless of what company that you want to work for, just apply. All they can tell you is no. That would be my advice. All right. And look, guys, that's pretty much all I got for you today. Do me a favor, like I said, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for me, like the video, drop a comment if you got a comment. Today is Friday, TGIF. I hope you guys have a good weekend. And look, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here, man. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all take care. Peace.